Hello and welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre. Also, I'm true speaker, healer, energy worker, guide, mentor, co-creator, and galactic ambassador from Pleiadians. And with me today is again two wonderful, beautiful ladies. Morganne Rayne, spiritual consultant, gratefully providing access to high dimensions of being. Morganne has been called the healer of healers as a way to describe her unique spiritual tools she shares. Morganne is here to serve those who seek great understanding of their sacred spiritual self and have the deep desire to integrate that consciousness in their 3D world. Also, we have Jeannie Reyna. Jeannie is saying about herself, I'm lifetime student of growth. I continually take classes to enhance my knowledge base. At the present, I'm studying internal family systems. So, hello, 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 my lovely ladies. I'm so happy to be here. Also, I have news. We are live on YouTube and Rumble.
Yeah.
So, my IT department cracked it. So now we are live on YouTube and Rumble.
Awesome. Awesome. I want to get your link for Rumble later. So, yeah.
Yes, link for Rumble is on description on the YouTube normal YouTube description, but I will send you. Don't worry.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
Wow, yeah, another milestone is achieved.
Yeah, that's good.
Slowly but surely.
Yep, we just keep putting one foot in front of the other, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't nothing seems so like seamlessly and easy. Everything what you're doing, you have to quite get into it. So figure it out how to do it. Yeah. So everything takes time. Everything takes energy, knowledge, skills, research, and so on.
Sounds like life, doesn't it?
Exactly, exactly. What we're talking about today. Just before we started our show, I we talk about today is something special as well. So, what's special today?
Well, every day's special, right? Every day's a brand new day. Every day's a clean slate. And what we do with it is what we do with it. We do it consciously or we do it unconsciously. So basically, we get those two options, right? We get to move into our day and let life happen to us, or we can move into our day and we can be conscious, awake, and aware about what's going on in our life. So it's just two different ways of looking at it. And when we have, you know, the signs and the symbols of the heavens, right? I call that, constellation configurations or whatever is going on, right? Those are opportunities. It's kind of like, being given the choice of given inferior food or really wonderful clean fresh food, right? It's just a matter of how you want to approach it, right? And some people go through their life fairly unconscious, just doing what they do, and then at some point they pay for that unconsciousness, and it comes back to bite them in relationships or whatever. Also health, there's a lot of ways that it can impact us. So when we use those kinds of, like, I'll step back in time to last Thursday when we met. We were working with the Lionsgate portal, right, of which we're kind of still in that influence in some way. So it's like, I think the time period is over, but we're still in the influence. And I don't do astrology, so like everyone has to be really. But just be patient with me. I realize I talk so fast that sometimes I leave portions of my sentences out. Um,
I think I learned to
so
understand you.
You learned that from me.
No, I learned to understand you. Even if you talk fast, I already learned to understand you.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, if you think my talking's fast, you got to be in my head.
No, I don't. My head is perfectly fine for me. Thank you.
Good. All right. So,
What from my head? What's going on there?
well, today's heads up. Today's a big day. Jupiter Mars conjunction that is square to Saturn. And in some ways, people would look at that configuration of, oh my God, that's a really terrible thing. But if we look at it from a positive aspect, Saturn brings us grounding and discipline and helps us avoid distraction. Well, I tell you what, I could use a whole dose of that stuff, right? So I'll be in this because I have to really work on being grounded. So the fact that Saturn is present right now in a significant way, I'll use that energy of grounding and working with disciplines that help me be a more functional human, right? A more awake and aware human, a more healthy human. Um, yeah, and then it also helps with us to avoid distractions. And I don't know about any of you ladies or anybody online, right? I get distracted fairly easily. I sometimes call myself a squirrel. It's like the next shiny thing, you know. It's like so there's that. So and then the other thing is that we're also in a um, um oh my god, it just kind of went out of my head. Let me see if I can find my notes. Oh yeah, we're in another retrograde of Mercury, right? So people go, oh no, you know, all of our equipment, our communications, whatever. It just brings us to an awareness that we need to work on those things, right? And when it's in retrograde, yeah, we may, you know, have computer issues or whatever. I use that as opportunity to step back. So I look at things when, like, if we're in a retrograde, like especially with Mercury, right? And that's going to go for another half a month here. So you know we're entrenched in that energy of it, but we can use the energy of it. And that's what I want to help people understand is even though astrologically that we may be under those influences, well then how do we use that energy, right? Maybe step back from the computer, step back from technology, step back from that, and also look at communication is part of that. It's like how are we communicating with one another to just bring it up more into consciousness. So it's kind of how I'll use any astrological influences. So today is it's like big energy day. Today is, and what's interesting about today is the astrological assignment of today is that it's happened three times in history. In the year 1142, in the year 1206, and in 1942. So these are aspects that have happened three times in history. And if you want, you can go back and you can look at what was going on in those times. That's for your research, right? I'm not going to do that for
I
you.
I don't know about 1142 or 1206, but 1942 it's war.
Yep. And look where we are, right? Right? We got ourselves like inserted into two wars right now, two main things right now, right? So so if we look at those things and really there's, I mean, do we have any control over that? No. uh, we don't have any control over it. The only thing we have control over is ourselves, right? So we can take the influences of what's going on and really start working on being really grounded. Like get grounded. like whatever it takes to go do it, like go to the woods, go hug a tree, you know, do everything, ground, you go barefoot, go earthing, right? Get your feet on the ground and ground with the mother. So, you know, let's look at things that we can do for ourselves. So grounding in our bodies, grounding in our minds, just grounded energy, eating grounded foods too. And then the discipline, like where do you need to tighten up your discipline? You know, for me, it's I'm really tightening it up around food right now, and looking at habits that I have formed out of it's really out of unconsciousness. So it's getting conscious about those things and applying a discipline to it because I want a result. And if I don't, if I don't discipline myself, then I'm not going to get the result that I truly want. So, so I'll work with my disciplines, which I have been doing, and avoiding distractions. Well, that's my squirrel energy. And if anyone else here has squirrel energy, right? It's like the next shiny thing. Um, I could even say chipmunks. I got these chipmunks that love to come on my deck, and they are so darn cute, right? But you see them, and I go, oh man, I'm like a chipmunk too. You know, it's like they hear a little noise and they're off. It's pretty funny. So it, like, even if we just worked with the energies of what these things may be issues for us, if we just take that up, and that's not too big of a big deal, right? It's like, look at, can we go outside and ground? Can we remember to ground a few times a day? Can we bring more discipline back into our lives that will help us avoid being distracted? So those are kind of the things that this time period allows us to really focus on, and we might as well take advantage of it because here it is, and here we are, and I think those things are really important for us as humans as we are in our own process of awake, you know, the spiritual awakening that we have and others are having. We're still in a human body. We're still living on planet Earth, and we still get to be a part of that. And do we do it in the highest way possible, the most magnificent human we can be, right? Or do we choose the mediocre human, or do we, you know, what are we choosing? So yeah, so we can talk about those things.
Jeannie, what you have to say?
Um, I agree with Morganne about the distractions and the squirrel and the grounding. It's one of the things I forget to do most of the time is ground myself. You know, I should be doing it every morning when I wake up and every afternoon, and you know, just make sure I'm grounded, especially in times like this.
Yeah, I mean, ask yourself the question, what am I like when I'm ungrounded?
Mm.
Right? I've asked myself that question. I actually don't like myself ungrounded.
Right. Neither do I.
Right? So might be a good idea
Right.
to ground. What were you going to say, Dega?
I was going to say about, I find, because I usually working with clients, yeah, I find me uh, connecting with all these energies to allow creators and Holy Spirit's energies work through me with my clients.
Mm-hmm.
I think that same time grounds me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really, when I'm working with clients, I feel grounded. I'm not all over the place.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm on day off and I, for some reason, don't put this energies through me, especially, mind you, they've been telling me that those energies is with me anyway. even if I'm not saying, yeah, this energy is there and they working with me.
Yep.
But I understand this checking in what I need to do every morning is for me to get grounded, for me to remind myself those energies are there, not for anybody else.
Yep.
To feel more this energy, because as soon I'm doing this, I straight away start feeling this buzzing in me. Yeah, I start feel that this energy is flowing. I literally see this picture of infinity symbol in me flowing. Yeah. So I think that grounds me, especially because we at some point we talk with Morganne that I connecting to Mother Earth pure unconditional love energy as well. So I sort of grounding myself as well, not only connecting to earth and air energies, yeah, above. So I'm connecting to below as well.
Yep. Yep. And that's amazing. Like that meditation we did last week with the triple eights, right? That really helps ground too, because that connects all the electrical circuits, and it helps us to become a vessel of receptivity, right? If we're off kilter, we can't receive well. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's actually now tackling to my last and most loving uh, addiction which I have. I have loving addiction to nice food. Doesn't matter what kind of food, but nice food. From my childhood, I love it. I love it. That's my addiction. But from 8th of August, from 888, I start doing every day intermittent starving, the 16-hour starving.
Fasting, not starving.
It was starving. For me, for first it was starving, but now I actually, I was long time listening to you and many other people. I was long time thinking about, I need to do it, I need to do it, but I couldn't get this. Okay, I do it. But then in the last hour private session, Morgan gave me some kick, huge kick, which one make me sort of act faster than I was expecting act. I probably stayed like that for another 20 years and thinking about I need to do it. But yeah, and sort of kicked me out of it. And now since 888, I'm doing this uh, 16 hour without food, and I find quite nice actually. It works for me, and I don't feel hungry, and I'm fine, and I feel lighter. I feel sort of more energy.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Instead of, I was always thinking you need to eat to get energy. Yeah, no, you actually don't. So
Right.
yeah, it's strange.
Right. We could talk about all the ways we do eat. Why? And Jeannie would be really great about talking about this. Like, why do people eat the way they do? Right. It can be one to nourish the body, but that's not even usually it, because that with intermittent fasting, you don't have to constantly be nourishing the body to receive energy. Actually, you get energy when you stop doing that. It starts burning energy, residual energy that's in your body temple. But there's psychological reasons why we eat, right, Jeannie?
Right. Yeah, people eat to comfort themselves, to avoid, to all different reasons. And one of the things, like if we're addicted to something, it's if we can stop and say, why do I want this? Why do I want to do this right now? What do I need? And what you really usually need is either love, comfort, or I mean, that's mostly it. And what if we're doing this on a regular basis, we can give it to ourselves. You know, it takes a practice because it's not something we're not learning. And so it's a discipline and a practice to ask, why do I want this? What do I need right now? And you don't need the food, the alcohol, the drug, or whatever. It's all about it's something emotional that you need. You need connection. And because you don't have it in the moment, we turn to the addiction to avoid that feeling.
Yep.
Instead of going in it and giving ourselves the comfort or the love that we need.
Yep. I was going to pull it because you reminded me on, let's see if I have my needs. No, that's just my feeling inventory. There's a list of needs that we're trying to satisfy, right? When and you know, we can talk about feelings that how we feel when our needs aren't met, right? And food will sometimes we use food as a replacement for those things, or drugs, or alcohol, or other distractions. It could be, you know, endless scrolling on your phone or computer. That's an addiction as well. When you find you've been sitting for like 2 hours and your face has been in a screen, that's an addiction. That's just an addiction. So there's some feelings we have when our needs aren't met, and you can look at there's the sadness feelings, right? And it's good to identify these things, is like rather than reaching for the food thing, ask yourself, what do I need right now? Just like what Jeannie said, right? What do I need right now? Boy, like lean into that statement. Don't let it just like be a thing that just slides by you. No, really go into, what are you feeling right now? Because if we don't, then the habit or the behavior that we've been using, it will be what we'll continue to use. We're trapped. We just really get trapped in a behavior if we don't really look at what the feelings are behind the behaviors. So there's feelings of sad, which can be under categories of ashamed. You're feeling blue, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling disappointment. Go through these, find out ask yourself, what am I feeling? Am I feeling fragile? Am I feeling helpless? Am I feeling hurt? Am I feeling lonely? Am I feeling miserable? Am I feeling numb? Am I feeling vulnerable? So you can begin to like look at these, and then under a category called mad, am I agitated? What do you reach when you have these feelings? Are you starting to reach for food, right? Are you trying to are you trying to meet the need that you have through the drink or the addiction or the whatever it is? So like Jeannie said, it's you got to ask yourself, what do I need right now? And that's where I see people don't do that. They're not curious. Either they're not curious enough about what the need is, or they've been so conditioned that their needs are not worthy to be met, that they don't explore that area.
Right.
So
So what you're saying is you, and this is really important to emphasize, is that you state the feeling first, what's going on with you. So you state the feeling, what am I feeling? And then you say, what do I need?
Yep.
And you really have to understand, it's not something that you go surfacey. You really have to sit and kind of meditate on it and be with it. And when you can name that need, it, like, even if you're sad, shame or whatever you're feeling, what you need is comfort and love. You know what I mean? And so it's like pick up a pillow and give your inner child that that attention of comfort and love. And it really works. It really gives that inner child his feeling seen. And in parts work, we talk about the emotions being a part. Like people say, I'm really angry, and you're not really angry. Part of you is angry. And so when you're sad, part of you is sad. So you talk to the sadness and say, what do you need? And it's all the different parts of you are all younger selves of you that need to have a missing experience. And by you getting in there and meditating with it, you're giving that part of you a missing experience.
Exactly. A lot of times it's the little part of ourselves that we didn't get our needs met, but we didn't feel heard. Right. And this is an opportunity for us to hear ourselves, hear that aspect of ourselves at that age, and give it our full attention, give it our full love, give it our, care about it, right? Otherwise, that little puppy's going to keep surfacing, right? Especially the wounded child is going to always keep popping out of that box we push it in. And they're doing that because we want to be healed of it. We want to be cleared of it, right? But as an unconscious, ungrounded human, we keep pushing that. I don't want to do that right now. I can't do that right now. I don't want to look at that. We use these phrases and then we start stuffing. We anesthetize, right? So it could be alcohol or drugs or food. Food is one of the most common ones. Not only is our food, I won't get too far into that. Our food's been so tainted and it's not even, some of it's not even food anymore. It's just belly filler. But if we go to those things, right, then we'll never address really what's underneath all of that. And the other thing is we're not living our authentic self. We're just not living our authentic self. And so in order to be a conscious, brave, magnificent human, it's really important to examine, what am I feeling? Especially when you're bumping up against a little habit you got, it's like, like, oh, wait a minute. Before I put that peanut butter on a piece of cracker, let me just stop for a moment. What am I feeling? Right. So it's getting really conscious. And this is a good time to just, be conscious with that.
Yeah. So what I talked about with the parts work, that's the IFS work that, I've been studying, and with Dick Schwartz, and it's really, really good stuff.
Yep.
And we can do this on our own as well, but a lot of people can't get into their feelings. We haven't been taught about knowing what we're feeling. And so a lot of people don't know what they're feeling. And so if they need help, that's when it's really good to go to a therapist who does IFS work, and they can help them get into their feelings and be able to feel their feelings.
Yep. Yep. NVC work does that too. So.
Oh, that's really great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, some people, I should say, there's a generation that was raised as just toughen up, just get over it, like all that stuff. And it's, it dummies you down when you don't own your own feelings, and the more we feel our feelings, the more awake we are and the more authentic we are, because everybody can look at the same thing and their reaction is all different. And it all depends on how they're feeling. So people can look at the same thing and feel completely opposite from one another. So their feelings are unique, and their feelings don't lie. And they're like, people say, "Oh, don't feel that way." Like, don't be you. You
Right.
have to, it's who you are. You can't help your feelings.
Yeah. Well, they're usually telling you that because you're making them uncomfortable, because you're triggering something within them, right? And they don't want to go there.
Right.
So they just, no, don't go there. Right?
Yeah.
No, it's like, let's bring that up. Let's feel that. What are you feeling?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that many times people don't feel those feelings.
Absolutely. They're difficult feelings, especially shame. I mean, or anger, you don't want to be angry, but and it's not about the other person. It's never about the other person. It's always about us. It's like healing those parts of us. What am I feeling? What do I need? And healing those parts of us.
Mm-hmm.
The other person's just the mirror showing up what's inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of relationship, right? Whether you're in a partnership or you're in friendships, or us hanging out, right? We reflect and mirror for one another, all the time. And if you're aware of that, that's beautiful, because you can use it. If you're not aware of it, you can just get mad at people and walk away or whatever, right? But yeah, relationships are powerful for reflecting back to you what's really going on for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so at the moment, I think it's time for everybody from this 8-8 portal to have opportunity to really change your life now.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so energies are helping at this point.
Yep. We got energies right now, like what I talked about. It brings groundedness, which is good to ground these things into our being, especially like the feelings work. When you understand how important that is, you can use that as like an everyday exercise, right? It's like, check in. How am I feeling right now? In NVC, there's a common thing we kind of start classes with, which is, what's alive in you? What's alive in you? And that takes it to a really a dimensional space, right? It's like, it's even more than, what are you feeling? What's alive in you? And to bring that forward. And I love that statement, is what's alive in me right now. Yes, yesterday it was, I can do this. I can do. So I was weeding all day, not just weeding, but doing deep removing roots of things that didn't really belong there. So like I'm having to really get down deep in the dirt and dig, right? Well, I used every one of those dig deep as a metaphor for something I was working on in my life, right? And it's like, at first I was like starting to just pull them out, like, and I wasn't getting all the roots, but then I go, that's just going to come back, right? It's like us too. If we just superficially, oh, well, there's that feeling, let me go have a drink, or, oh, there's that feeling, let me go eat a sandwich, or there, let me have a piece of candy, or whatever it is, right? So I used yesterday as a beautiful metaphor to go, keep digging, keep moving, and remove the core of what's causing the feelings, right? So yeah, it was good. You get it and you get it grounded in you, right? Where you're like, what else is there? You just, I just want to keep going. Well, what else is there? So that I can be clean and clear and be that place of where heaven meets earth.
Right. What we're talking about right now is so important. If we can do what we're talking about, it changes lives. Mm-hmm. And so I'm bringing it out to the greater community as well. That this stuff really works. Mm-hmm. To be able to name a feeling and say, what do I need?
Yeah.
And listen to our body rather than go towards the addiction, whatever it is. Distraction.
Yep. Yeah, it's just getting conscious about yourself, having the discipline to be conscious about self. We could just start there, right? Just like and that comes from choosing, right? That discipline part comes from the capacity to make a choice.
Right.
Right.
And yeah, go ahead.
No.
Oh, I was going to say, so many times we look outside and think about, we're upset with this person or that person or the politics or what's happening. Like it's a distraction to our own work, because if we want to change the world, we have to change ourselves first. And, like the inner work is so important. And it's, if everybody could do it and own their own stuff, it would change the world.
Yep. It will. Not only does it change us, and it changes the world because we become a different human. Right. When we do that, we become a different human. And the way that we become different is that we're now not acting from reactions. We're able, when we become disciplined, when we become grounded in who we are, we can truly respond. And we're not just doing knee-jerk reactions. And those reactions are all hooked into those unmet needs, right? They're all hooked into that. So it's like we get to be in our world as a response rather than a reaction. It brings us to consciousness. Otherwise, there are sayings, hurt people, right? That is really big, right? Hurt people. That's because they have a consciousness of hurt and they react to hurt and they spew from hurt. They are a consciousness of hurt, right? So all they know is hurt. All they can do is hurt. All they can receive is hurt. Have you ever tried to love a hurt person? It's really difficult because you can't get in. There's no space because they're hurt, right? So hurt people. And when we decide to not be a hurt people and we decide to be a whole, healthy, functioning, responsible being, then we can change that dynamic of our thinking and our behavior. I mean, think about this. An awake person awakens people. A loving person, right? We can go on, right? So work that we do, we show up differently and we're able to communicate differently and be differently with people. And then they change and people change because they don't, we're not the same person.
Right. There's, when you when you look at the person with, when you treat a person with love, it helps them to change. You know, like if you're a loving person, you love somebody else. And I don't mean in a intimate relationship. I mean, just love another person, the universal love of another person. It helps people. It lifts them up. And the more we can do that, and we can't do it if we don't have it within ourselves to do it for ourselves.
Exactly. We start with us first, because we become like the transmitter of whatever we have within us, right?
Right.
We just transmit that energy, and we do it consciously and we do it unconsciously. So when we bring it to consciousness, which I'm inviting everyone to, let's play in that realm of being conscious, then we become the resonance of that energy or that frequency or that vibration. We become that, and then whoever is with us or around us, they get to experience what that is. They can't help it. We're like we talk about that rippling, right? We we ripple out, and our frequency touches them. And even if they are, sad or miserable, they'll get a little, whoa, what was that? what was that? Who are you?
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe even those who we don't feel or don't see that they are picking up on some messages what you're giving them, I believe they still walk away and something sticks with them. So you sort of, that's what I've been talking with my guys when I said, "No, what's happening if I have a person on therapy for one session, and it's happening for me that they decided now we don't want another session with you, yeah." And I said, what's going on? It's happening for me. I try to pour my heart out and work and so on, but they, like I saying, poo-poo me, yeah? And they been telling, don't worry, you anyway give them what you needed to give them.
Yep.
Yeah, they have this, whatever message you're giving them, they have this implanted in their consciousness. So when time comes for them, they will meet maybe somebody else who will do work for them.
Exactly.
You're just planting the seed.
Yeah, you just planted the seeds for this person, yeah?
Yep.
Just giving them support, just giving them love, just letting them be, yeah?
Yep. And some people just aren't ready to work at the level that you're at. And that's it right there, right? They can't even, there's not an entry point for them. And like I've noticed that with work that I do, because I have a way different kind of a practice, right? If people can't come in and be at that, or even help me bring them to that level, then I can't work with them, because they're not getting it. And I think it's okay for us to want to have satisfaction, like, okay, job well done, right? Okay, good, we made progress. Those are all good, and we need those feelings too, because they keep us continuing to do the work that we're doing, right? That's all good biofeedback that, oh, we're on the right path, we're doing the right thing.
Right. I think there's all different kinds of healers, and I could just talk about the therapy field. It's there's people that just meet people where they are and don't go deep, and then there's so there's all kinds of levels, all the way up to the going really deep and doing a really heavy work. So it's it's about finding the right person for where you are in life, and so I don't think, so I do really deep, heavy work, and and it wouldn't be somebody who's just coming in like, and just wanting to talk. That's not for me. Like I feel like I'm not working, and I feel like we're both wasting time. But the reality is that might be all somebody needs, but it's not, it doesn't serve me in what I want to do. So I will send the person to another person, because we're not meeting each other where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like me. You're doing the same thing as me when I see the person is only looking for 45 minutes to just upload their problems. Yeah, I'm not interested to change a bit. I'm not interested after 30, 40 sessions listen the same thing. It's just, it's wasting time. We're talking in two languages.
Right. And I'll tell them that. I'll say, it's, I said, I'll say like, well, if you want somebody to talk, just to talk to and not do work around it, then, I'm not the right person for you, because when you just talk in the surface and don't get, and don't want to heal it, you're basically wasting your time and my time, and you're wasting your money as well, because it's not serving anything, but some people, and I see, and I don't mean to, that's just from me, in my work, to work with me, but I see how it really helps somebody to have somebody to talk to, because there are people who don't have anybody to talk to, and they don't want to work on their stuff. They just want somebody to talk to, and that's okay. It's just, we have to make the unconscious conscious, and say, what are we doing here? And make sure we're a right fit.
Yep. So I'm going to amplify what you just said. I think maybe it's they need to be heard.
Right.
Right. So having someone to talk to, they can talk to a dog or whatever. They can talk to the wall, right? But are they being heard? And I
Right.
think that's one of the missings for a lot of people, is they don't feel heard.
Right.
So I know that in my work, sometimes it's just being a place where they speak what they, but I sit in that place of, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I hear that, just being in that place. And sometimes that's just really healing for someone, to know that someone heard them.
Right.
And that might be all they need.
Right. Exactly. But for me, it's really important to make that transparent, and not, say, okay, you just want me to listen to you. And then we do it. And we both show up better, because we know exactly why we're there.
Yep. And well, I have a person that I've worked with on and off for several years, right? And that's how the whole relationship started. Was she needed to be heard. She needed to say what and nobody would hear her. Nobody could hear her. So I sat in that place of listening for her and repeated back and made sure that, did I hear this correctly? Is this how you're feeling? It's like, and over the years, now it's developed into full-blown transformative work, right? But
Right.
it took time. It took the building of the relationship, trust. Like, who wants to spill their guts to someone they don't know and don't trust, right?
Right.
So it's so I see right where you are, and I see the value of also being just that place of, I hear you. I'm here
Right.
for you at whatever level you are.
Right. And I mean, to be honest with you, I also have a client that I've been seeing that just wants to be heard. And we both know that's why this person's here. And I've been seeing this person for a couple of years now. And I mean, we have a really good trust with each other, but it's it's just to make the unconscious conscious and really be okay. So what do you want from this working together? What do you want?
Absolutely. And developing that beautiful trust relationship.
Okay, ladies, it's time for our meditation. My favorite part in the show.
Okay, I have no idea. But earlier I thought that because we were talking about grounding and I just made a couple of notes on just what the spirit want us to do here. So what I thought we could do is begin with some releasing some things. And then we will work with some I ams, because speaking your I am is a wonderful way to ground. So if you're okay with that, let's proceed. Okay. So I'm just going to invite everyone to just find that place where you can just be in relaxation and being present. So let's just take a breath in and just receive that into your body consciously. Like, be aware of your breath. This is about bringing everything to consciousness. So the breath you breathe, how does it come in? Do you breathe in through your nose? Do you breathe in through your mouth? How are you breathing that breath in? Get conscious. And just continue to breathe and continue to anchor those breaths in your body. And at the same time, allow your body to just find a place of being comfortable. So find that place, because today we're going to do a little bit of beautiful work. And that beautiful work is going to be letting go of what no longer serves you. And then anchoring the truth about yourself into your body. And so as we begin, what I'm going to be with you are called release and decree. So we're going to begin to release things that may be in your way of becoming your true I am, your true authentic self. So the first we want to do, and you can say this out loud to where you are, you can say it inside your head, but it's a spoken, whether it's in your head or out loud, it's a spoken. So the first one is, I release all remaining resistance. So just notice in your body, are you feeling any resistance? And where you feel it, just say, I release this resistance. And so for the overall, we just say, I release all remaining resistance. Take a breath in. I release all fear still stuck in my body, in my cells, and in my blood and bones. So experience what it's like to release that fear from your body, from your cells, from your blood, from your bones. I release all unforgiveness. Take a breath in. I release all resentment. I release all guilt, all shame, and all blame. I release all victim energy. I release all persecutor energy. I release all judgment, all criticism. And remember to continue to breathe between all of these releases. I release all preconceived ideas. I release all jealousy, all hate, all anger. I release all grief. I release all pain, and I release all suffering. I release all frustration. I release the need to control. I release those that want to control me. I release all manipulation. I release spite. I release all feelings of I'm not good enough or better than any other. I am releasing all remaining implants, devices, entities, attachments, cords, ties, vows, pacts, contracts, agreements, all and everything that binds me to the old, all that doesn't serve my highest good any longer. Take a big breath on that one. I release all remaining feelings of separation from self, separation from others, separation from my higher self, soul, oversoul, nomad, and from source. I release all those feelings of separation. I also release the belief in that separation. I release all remaining resistance to change. I release all suppression. I release all arrogance. I release my negative ego. I release my lower nature. I release all blocks, barriers, and chains that prevent me from moving forward. I release all that blocks me from being my loving self and loving myself and others more deeply. And I release those blocks that prevent me from receiving love into my life. I release all outdated thinking, all belief systems, templates, programs, behavioral and thought patterns that keep me experiencing old timelines and experiences. I overwrite and override all lesser DNA, all lesser codes and strands with every one of my cells, atoms, atomic and subatomic particles and waves, and all the spaces in between, down to the mitochondria across all time and space, all dimensions, all realities, all universalities. I release all and everyone that is not in alignment with my highest good and original divine true human source blueprint. I release all feelings of hopelessness, despair, depression, low self-worth, and heaviness. Boy, feel what that feels like when you release that. I release all self-denial, all delusions, and illusions and all false hopes. I let that go. I release all blocks around my heart and my mind. I release all density, all distortions, all mind control, all and everything trying to keep me down and hold me back. I am releasing all interferences. I am removing all and everything that is standing in my way from becoming the higher version of myself. I am releasing all lower thought forms trying to discourage me and hold me back. I release all that is not love, not compassion, not understanding, not forgiveness, and not oneness. I am releasing all feelings of doubt, disbelief, and confusion. I release every thought, feeling, and belief that I am not good, strong enough to make it as I am. I release all feelings and thoughts making me believe I am not worthy of a happy, peaceful, fulfilled, joy-filled, balanced, abundant, and love-filled life. I release all programming telling me I cannot have it all. I release all worries, all tension, all anxiety. I release my old self, my lower self. Take a breath in. And just feel like what it feels like to have released all of that. And there may be more that comes up for you, but continue the releasing as you can. Now I am coming to understand, accept, and welcome myself back home. I now let go of what is no longer in alignment with my being so that I am now in alignment with my being to receive. And so now I begin to integrate all of me as I release all that I am not. All that I am can now live. My inner Christ self, my true divine human self, my source self, my resurrected and redeemed self. Just feel into that. And move into your heart. And here we begin. I am. I am safe. I am connected. I am loved and loving. I am at peace. I am supplied. I am supported. I am worthy of all my heart desires. I am. What is your I am? Sink into your own I am, potent and powerful. I am source. I am sovereign. I am free. Just stay in your I am. I am. This is your authentic beingness. I am on purpose and capable. I am fully supplied in every bit of knowledge I need. I am supplied in all my needs. Work with your I ams. Stay anchored in your heart. And if you find you need to release and let things go, do some more release work. But come back to the heart. Come back and ground yourself in the truth of your being, your I ams. I am. I am. Take a breath in. Anchor that I am consciousness fully in your heart and in every cell of your being, in the mitochondria, in the cells, in the bones, in the blood. I am awake and alive. I am love. I am sourced. I am source. I am, and just bring that I am consciousness back to your being. Take a breath in. Let that become alive in you. Feel what it feels like to be in your I am consciousness. And so it is with love and light that we give you this teaching today. You are loved. You are beloved. You are the light in this world. And we are so grateful for your awareness, for your willingness to become truly your authentic human and what human was created to be, the divine aspect of source made flesh for these experiences here on this plane. And so as we just accept who we are, our I ams, we release this time together. And in gratitude and love, we send you to become more of your I am, to be more curious about who you are. And so with that, beloveds, we leave you. And so it is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was very powerful. I was thinking
Very extremely powerful. Another really, really extremely powerful meditation. Jeannie, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I was thinking, to be able to listen to this every morning and every evening, this meditation, I mean, it was so powerful. And how we live in it.
Yeah, it might be worthy for me to just make a new recording, just the meditation. So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody who is with us already for a while, they already know that every end of our shows that is wonderful meditations. So please go back, look at them. Please watch again this one meditation because it's really powerful. Also, please don't forget like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube video channel. And now, if you could, please subscribe and like and share Rumble channel as well, because from today we're going live on Rumble. So, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and see you next Tuesday. Bye. God bless.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.